So good.
We fell out of love like shooting stars, came crashing down, and we're building back up again now.
Alright, so I just made my pre-workout meal, as you guys just saw. And we got some oatmeal, strawberries, honey. Oatmeal, strawberries, honey, cinnamon. More honey on top of the strawberries. And some protein powder. Super fire meal. I eat this about an hour and a half before the gym, just to make sure it's all digested good and I'm not bloated. But today we're hitting chest and shoulders, so I'm gonna eat this, wait a little bit, get changed, take some pre-workout on top of the coffee, by the way. Caffeine addict over here. But then yeah, we're gonna go train. Alright, so we're doing 2 scoops of the Legion Pina Colada pre-workout. It's like 350 milligrams of caffeine. And I already had the coffee too, so should be a very good workout today. Code Isaac. I literally just tried to put the pre-workout lid on top of my shaker cup, thinking it was the lid for that. I literally just went like that, off camera. Alright guys, so today I decided to do my first ever mic'd up workout. I've never actually done one of these before. Normally I just film cinematic type edits in the gym. So I figured I'd switch things up, try something new. So here's me actually hitting 145 for 10 reps. Just a quick little warm up before I get into my 2 top heavy sets. So yeah, here's me just doing that and finishing that up. Now here's me doing 185. And I should do this for a few reps, just another quick little warm up. And I'm actually cutting right now, so by May 21st I'll be on my four months cutting. So right now I'm only 3 months in, but strength's going down a little bit, so I'm just trying to get a little warm up before I get into my heavy top sets. Here's me locking in, just trying to get in the right mental space to hit this 225 top set right here. So here's me going in. And my plan was to get 5 to 6 reps here, but I didn't have a spot because my brother was recording me. So I think my fight or flight kicked in right here, and I was able to get 5 because lately I've been getting 4. So yeah, here's me grinding that out right there. As you can see, my brother got a little scared, started walking over because you can see like I'm about to fail, but right here is when the fight or flight kicked in and it cut out, but I hit that shit. All right, so for my second top set, I'm actually backing down to 205 pounds. And I think I got this for 6 reps. It was feeling a lot lighter than the 225, but still pretty heavy because like I said, I'm cutting and my strength's gone down a lot. So, but once I'm done with this cut, May 21st, I should start a lean bulk. So my incline bench should start shooting up. Here's my brother Jake just warming up on the shoulder press. And it's actually crazy. So he was living in Montana for the longest time, and he would only come home to visit like a few weeks at a time, and we would train in those weeks, but it wouldn't be enough for him to make any substantial progress because he would just go back home and stop working out. But he just moved back to Georgia permanently, so he's been training with me, and he's been making some insane gains because he's actually been able to be consistent with it now. So that's awesome to see. But yeah, that was just him warming up, and now here's me warming up. I'm doing the 65s, just trying to get some blood flow into the delts before I get into my 2 top heavy sets again. So yeah, that's feeling pretty light. Slightly heavy, like I said, because I'm cutting, but nothing too terrible. So now here's me warming up with the 75s. I used to just go from the 65s straight to my top set on delts, just because I didn't want to tire myself out because the 90s are pretty heavy. But I was like, nah, I definitely need to add a few more warm-ups before I get to that. So I went from 65 to the 75s just for like 4 to 5 reps. Now here's me about to do the 90s, and my brother actually set the camera down so he could give me like a slight lift off because the 90s are pretty hard to get over your shoulders. But yeah, he just set the camera down, already recording. So all he has to do is help me get the lift off and then pick up the camera so I can start going. So here's me about to lift off right here right now. Bam, they're up, and he should grab the camera right now. Yeah, there he goes. And yeah, here's me hitting 90s for my first top set. Just repping it out like an absolute Chad right here. Looking jacked. Pretty strong for the cut. I used to not even be able to do 90s until this year. I've been really working on them, trying to progress in my shoulder press. But yeah, there's doing me 90s. Now here's me doing 80 pounds. Just dropped down from the 90s for my second working set. And I think I got 7 reps here. Just grinding that out. Trying to get a pump in the delts. Some good blood flow. And still feeling pretty heavy, but not as bad as the 90s. So yeah, here's me finishing that setup. And then I'm done with shoulder press. Now we're moving on to the incline press machine. I like to do 2 incline movements for chest every chest and shoulder day. So I did 230 here for about 6 reps. And this was feeling really heavy, especially after incline, but still got some decent reps from that. Then here's me dropping down to 215. And I think I got this for probably like 5 reps. I was feeling pretty burnt out at this point, but still just pushing through, trying to get a good pump, good mind muscle connection right here. Oh yeah, see, like that was pretty brutal. So now here we're moving on to lateral raises. And by the way, on the incline machine, the incline press, I only like to do 2 sets there. I don't like to do any warm-up since we just did the incline bench. Already kind of warmed up on that, so I don't need to do any warm-up. But yeah, here's me doing 125 on the lateral raises. And I think I got like 13 reps here. I personally prefer to do the machine over the free weights. I still like to incorporate lateral raises with the free weights. But on the machine, I feel like I get better control over the weight, as well as like it locks me in and I'm able to hit my side delts a lot better. And it really helps with my form because, you know, on the free weights, there's a lot more going into the form there. But I like to switch it up just so I can get a different stimulus on my side delts. So now here's me doing 110 pounds, repping that out. And then from 110 pounds, I'll drop that down to 95 pounds, rep that out. And then from there, I'll drop it down to 65 and rep that out. Just an absolute burnout on my side delts. But for progression, what I like to do is I like to try to get 15 reps on my top set before I progress in weight. And I used to really just go super heavy on lateral raises. And I realized I was using more traps in my side delts. So I was like, yeah, I really need to drop the weight and focus on my form more, because with delts, it's really easy for your traps to take over. So you got to be really careful with that. Now here we're moved on to chest press. I like to do the machine chest press, but I also like to do the chest flies. It just depends on the day. But yeah, today we decided to do chest press. So here's me warming up with 190 pounds for 10 reps. Just getting some blood flow and a pump to the chest. So yeah, here's me going there. And just trying to get a good squeeze. Now we're on to 270 for my first working set as well as my top set. So yeah, here's me grinding that out. And I got 7 reps here. So I'm just trying to keep my chest out. Make sure my back is flat up on the pad. Just trying to keep good form here and get a good stretch. And yeah, that's feeling pretty heavy. Now here's me doing a back offset 265. So what I like to do, if you haven't noticed, is I do my warm-up set usually, and then I do 2 working sets. And one's usually a top set and one's a slight back off from that top set. So like, for example, my working set here was 270 for my top set, and then I backed off to 265. So it's still pretty heavy, but try to get within the 6 to 8 rep range. And if I'm getting above 8 or about 8, I'll probably progress in the weight. But since I'm cutting, I haven't been able to hit those numbers. But yeah, that's what I like to do. So now we're on to rear delts. And I used to do both arms for rear delts, but I had a slight imbalance in my, I think it was my left rear delt. Or sorry, it might have been my right. I can't remember, but I started doing them single-handed just to fix the imbalance, as well as I also get a better like mind muscle connection when I do it single-handed. and just a better stretch in general. It allows me to really just focus on that movement for each side. But yeah, here's me doing that. I think I did 160 here for my first set. And then here's me dropping down to 155. And then from 155, I'll do 150. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the workout. And then after that, I'll just go to the locker room and do some posing.